Hello, my little boogers. Mama Lou here, and I wanted to do a reading for today and kind of see what the messages that I'm getting in. They've been a little confusing today, so I'm really gonna try and get a little bit clearer answers to what it is, what messages it is that I'm channeling that need to get out to all of you. If you guys want to like and subscribe, do all the things, that would be great. And we're just going to kind of get going on these guys here. The first song is Here I Am by Dolly, Parton, and Sia. I can give you all the love you need and more. This is about true love and support, deep, meaningful connections, willing friend or partner, and comfort and nurturing from others. So that all sounds awesome. Plus, it's freaking Dolly. I mean, need I say more? Really? I don't think so. I don't think so. The second song is Pieces. It's the live version. That's the one that I like the most, by Harbor and Home. In the end, I'll find the pieces. I'll find rest for my weary soul, because in the end, I'll find the peace in letting go. Nice little wordplay on there. Accept and let go. Inner turmoil released. Let the universe be your compass. These are all quite interesting so far. Let's see what the next one is. All right. We have, okay. Glory Bound by Matt Hires. Because I'm glory bound, but I could use a little help right now. Time to ask for help. It's okay. A sponsor, a mentor, advisor to help you through hard times, spiritual guidance, and finding your inner strength. So let's pull some cards on these. There's 3 songs that came out. That's all they want for tonight, so that's all right. 3 songs that have come out. This can be a timeless reading, though. You know, so whenever you hear it, it's meant for you. I am going to take a deep breath in if you want to take one with me so that we can get all in the zone together. That would be great. So let's do this. If you want to listen to all 3, that's awesome. If you just want to pick one, pick the first one that pops in your head, and go for it. All right, the first one, Here I Am by Dolly Parton and Sia. I can give you all the love you need and more. True love and support, deep, meaningful connection, willing friend and partner, comfort and nurturing from another. I'm already getting the message that there is something here about, that's kind of a sad one. So, trigger warning. But you may have been on your path for quite some time, and you may not exactly know what true love and support and deep, meaningful connections mean. It feels like some of you, this is just for some of you, have had a little bit of a rough go when it comes to people honoring your connection or showing you true love without conditions, or things not turning very sour on you. I mean, everybody has breakups and it's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, we just don't get along. Let's move on. You know, there's a little bit of that, you know, gossipy type hard feelings where you're like, yeah, they were an asshole or whatever that is. But this actually feels like you keep trying, but it feels, honestly, which is really sad, it feels like you've been having a really rough go of it, and it feels like this may have been going on for quite some time. Like, you feel like, I have a friend who says it feels like your picker's broken. Like you just keep getting into these situations of where you really don't even, you're like, I don't know what it is, but all this bad just keeps feeling like it's coming to me, and like I can't catch a break when it comes to love and relationships. This also can be something in regards to the way that you grew up, your family life, your culture, your community, where love was given, but it was given with conditions, or love was given if you did as they asked you to, or as long as you stayed in line, or as long as you followed the rules and the regulations. And it feels like the minute that you even questioned it, they're like, how dare you, and it's like, okay, I'm not allowed to ask questions. Okay. And so you may have kind of stopped asking questions and just kind of gone along with it and thinking, well, I guess this is what love is. And that's kind of the first part that I'm getting from this. The second part is the reason that I brought a lot of that up is because it feels like there are people around you who can fit that genuine love position for you. I don't know if this is with family, maybe finding your tribe, your chosen family, your close friends, the ones that just get you and love you, accept you for who you are. Or if there is someone that you are meeting and it's actually a really deep, close relationship. And because it doesn't look like the love that you've seen before, you don't realize that this may be love as well. I hope that makes sense. But it feels like there may be opportunities around where you may just not recognize true love when you see it because you haven't experienced it before. That breaks my heart for you. I'm just saying that it is possible that you can have it. It is possible. You're not doing anything wrong. You just, I know it's hard, but you just need to continue to stay open to love. You need to continue to do that for yourself. And it feels like you need to fight for yourself. You need to fight it because you deserve it. You need to fight for it because you're worth it. And you don't need to settle for love with conditions. You don't need to settle for second best or someone's, leftovers or any of those things. And you should be able to be the center of someone's world where they will literally drop everything for you. Just like the song says, I can give you all the love you need and more. I am here for you. I support you. It's a beautiful song. It's a duet with Sia. I always say Sia. I don't know if it's Sia, but I always say Sia. So that's what I mean by that. So yeah, it feels like I really just have this energy of don't give up. Don't give up on love. Don't just think that love is horrible. All love does not hurt. I have experienced this where I'm like, you can say you love me all you want, but your love hurts and I want no part of it. And this feels like you almost speaking up for yourself and being like, this is not love. And if this is your version of love, I don't need it. I don't need it. Because yeah, you got the Justice card in reverse and the Four of Wands. A lot of wands. This is a lot about your desires, your heart space, your goals, what you want for yourself. It does feel like possibly this is coming from your childhood and how you grew up in your childhood, the kind of love that you saw, the kind of relationships that you saw, the environment that you grew up in. And the cards are literally saying, no, it wasn't fair. No, it wasn't fair. It was an unbalanced love relationship. It had a dominator, and you were the submissive. It feels very much like that, where you weren't even given it feels like it's some sort of a cycle that you weren't really given a chance to get out of. Man, all of these are in reverse because you have the Knight of Cups. You have had a dream of, you probably as a kid watched all those, cartoons or fairy tales or things like that, of where you watched, someone just like a knight in shining armor type person just come up and just be 100% devoted to this person. Not gender specific, or watched, rom-coms or romance movies. And it feels like with this being in reverse, that it always was more of a longing of something you never experienced, a life you've never really had, an opportunity you felt that you were never gonna be a part of. And so you turned it into more of like a dreamy fantasy, And it feels like what you need to do is, no, it doesn't need to be a fantasy. You deserve love. You deserve pure love. You deserve that kind of connection with, whether it's a single person or a group of people or your family or any of these things. It shouldn't be something that's just a fantasy to you. This can happen for you. And I'm so angry at anybody who has done this to you or made you feel like you didn't deserve love, because that is bullshit. No, you deserve this. And it feels like this has kind of been, you've almost gotten resolved to the idea that maybe this is just the way that life is. Maybe the world's just horrible. Nobody will love me. Nobody will, accept me for who I am. I'm never gonna, be treated the way I want to be treated. And I'll just have to just keep sitting on my couch eating popcorn and watching other people enjoy their love lives, or their family or their friends or their, community. Because yeah, the last card that came up is the Six of Wands. All these freaking wands, man. It feels like this is what you want the most. This is what you want. This is what you want to finally accomplish. This is your goal to conquer this blockage that you feel like keeps happening. And it's not a blockage that you put there. It's a blockage that's just been put on you. And this feels like you are going to find a victory over this. You are going to find what it is you're looking for, because like I said, because you deserve it. Okay? So that's a really cool message. Again, I'm very angry for all of you. Mama Lou loves you to pieces. And just know, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. All of those things. Okay? All right. The second song was Pieces by Harbor and Home. In the end, I'll find the pieces. Like as in pieces. I'll find rest for my weary soul, because in the end, I'll find the peace in letting go. So, the peace in letting go. So, yeah. All right, let's see what they want with this one. Okay, they want this deck. So, the first thing I get with this one is there is something inside of you that it feels like this inner turmoil that you are feeling, Mama Lou's gonna tell it to you straight, almost feels a little bit self-imposed, where you're trying to fit all the parts of yourself together. You're trying to squish it all like different kinds of Play-Doh, and you're just like making one of those random ugly balls that turn into just like brownish, greenish color. That's the way it feels. You're not it. Okay, that's a big one. Okay, it feels like you're having a hard time being proud of all of the parts of you individually, and so you think, well, I'm just going to squish it all together and then it'll be okay, rather than just cultivating each piece as its own and accepting it and creating a relationship with all those parts of yourself so that you can love it as a whole and you can see it as the pretty picture it actually is, rather than just always making it into just this blurry mess so that you can say, yeah, look at that. That does look bad. No wonder I can, it feels like a turmoil that you're creating for yourself. It feels like a negative thought pattern that you are perpetuating within yourself, because there are parts of you that maybe you just don't like certain aspects of you. And this feels like the only way you're going to do that is by stop trying to make certain things happen. Start accepting the way things are and then changing your attitude and the energy around them. Turn something that maybe you view negatively and try and actually view it positively. I know that sounds really, cheap or campy or something like that, but that's the first message that I'm getting in this. Stop hating parts of yourself, or stop hating all of yourself. Stop it. You are a universal conscious being, and you were made perfect as you are. This is the path that you're on. This is the incarnation that you have chosen. This is the reality that you have come into. Stop fighting with yourself and start accepting yourself. Start loving yourself. We get a lot of self-love talk and all the love and light shit and all that other stuff, but that's the message that I'm getting on this one. There is a little bit of some of this too could be that you may be getting a little worn down by the path that you're on. Sometimes the universe kind of puts us through these different lessons where we're supposed to be learning something. So, and when it's not clicking, it feels like it drags on for a long time. It feels like you're not progressing. It feels like you're just kind of blah, because you don't really know what's the point of this. How is this helping me? How am I supposed to continue along my journey when I've been in kind of the same spot, but it feels like I'm kind of going in circles? And if someone could tell me what the lesson is I'm supposed to be learning, I'd really appreciate it. And it feels like the minute that you acknowledge, it feels like almost the minute that you acknowledge that this is in itself part of your journey, it feels like that's when things are going to start moving in the universe, because once you kind of let that good energy out and put those vibes out, then the universe can, like the song says, become your compass. It will start giving you clues. It'll start giving you synchronicities. It'll start seeing signs or hearing a song or seeing different things. And just the mere fact that you like, ooh, that's kind of interesting. That progression helps you move through whatever stage of your journey you're in. I don't know if that made sense. It did up here. I'll try and clarify a little bit better with the cards. Yeah, you have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords. You want this over with. You're tired of spinning your wheels mentally about this. You're tired of just trying to figure out what this is or what's wrong with me or how do I fix this, or it feels like you may even be getting a little bit just disgusted, and that may be where I got that part of like, okay, fine, just squish all this stuff together. Can we move on already? And it feels like it's not meant to be, well, it feels a little bit like some of it isn't meant to be solved, but the other part of it is that you need to keep all of those things separate. And so instead of just making a mush ball, you're actually building a puzzle that creates an actual picture. I see that a lot too in this card specifically with all the eyes on themselves. They are overcritical of themselves. All they are doing is constantly picking themselves apart. They are constantly judging themselves. They are constantly talking down to themselves. And it comes to the point of where they're like, yeah, it feels like giving up almost, or that you also could feel a little bit like, you may feel a little bit like the universe is kind of sticking it to you a little bit. But just know the fact that you're to this point, you got the 9 and then the 10 of Swords, that you may be reaching the end of this mental block or this impasse that you're in, or this stuck feeling that you're in. And it may take something, like I said, just, you start seeing a synchronicity, or you start, hearing, songs or music or something like that. Because, yeah, more swords. This is all in your head. You are stealing your own joy. You are stealing your own trust in what you're thinking, or trust in what you're believing, or trust in your intuition. And it feels like you are the one that is diminishing your abilities, your worth, your self-acceptance. And so let's see if we can get a card for how do we get out of this? Because this all feels, I mean, I'm not trying to just stick it to you guys, but this is what I'm getting. Yeah, you got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. You want to do it all by yourself. I don't even know if that you want the universe involved in it. You're like, F this. I can do it myself. I can do it myself. And I think that might be where the sticking situation is coming in. You're so negative about yourself that you almost are like, I don't want anybody else to know how bad this is, because it's pretty bad. And then you just kind of get in these cycles of just being a loner, doing it all by yourself. Teaching yourself, trying to motivate yourself. And it's really hard to do once you've reached some of these points of like the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Swords. It's really difficult. And so I feel like if you can just break out of that cycle of nobody wants to hear about it, or nobody else can help me, this is something I have to do myself. Yeah, literally the last part of the song is, because in the end I'll find the peace in letting go. You need to let go of that control. You need to let go of your need to fix everything yourself, or to yeah, you got the Knight of Pentacles. You need to get it from out of here and into the physical world, and you need to get working on it. You can't work on this by yourself. You need to bring it out in the open, even if it's so that you can get it out there, like journaling or it feels like something like that. We're getting it out so that you can actually evaluate it with a little bit more perspective. All right, that's what they want with that. That was an interesting message. I hope that made sense to everybody, but that's what I got with it. All right, the last song, number 3, is Glory Bound by Matt Hires, because I'm glory bound, but I could use a little help right now. Kind of similar. Time to ask for help. It's okay. A sponsor, a mentor, advisor to help you through hard times, spiritual guidance, and finding your inner strength. These might be somewhat connected. Don't know. Let's see. All right, what do they want with this one? Okay. They want this one. Alrighty, so the first stuff I'm getting with this one is it feels like you have been going within a lot recently. It feels like you've been in a certain part of your path where you've had to do a little bit of the hunkering down, and for good reason. Like, it feels like you needed to work through some of your own stuff, and kind of get more clarity on yourself, your goals, your plans, your dreams, your spirituality, your path, all of these things. And it feels like you have been in that mode now for a little while, it feels like. And it feels like you've come to some sort of agreements with yourself, or peace with yourself, or an understanding of where you want to continue your education, where you want to continue your spiritual evolution, what kind of, it's almost like you kind of have it out in the forefront of, I'd really like my journey to lead at least in this direction. I'd really like to experience some of the things along this path this way. And you may have been doing a lot of this. It feels like, like sitting at home, maybe you've been watching different like spiritual content, or listening to podcasts, or reading books even, because it feels like you're really searching for more knowledge so that you can understand the universe more, or that you can understand your own psychology, or the way that you do things, or communication with your inner child. But it feels like you are, this sounds weird, but you're almost planning your own version of what your goal as a soul is heading toward, or where your soul is heading or where you want it to head and how you want to live this incarnation or how you want to live in this realm, in this existence. And it feels like you've kind of done all of the learning that you can on your own, and you're just starting to get that hunger for more expansive knowledge, like a little bit deeper. It feels like you want to go to the next step with it. You want to be less of a first year student, and maybe it's time to move up to second year student, and maybe let's take a couple more classes, and let's read some more books, and let's do a little bit more things. And it feels like you're kind of almost searching for knowledge beyond yourself. Yeah, because you know that what you've been doing can't stand. It can't last forever. You need to get out of this isolated, I'm going to just figure everything out for myself box. And it's time to shake some things up, because you're not the same person you were before you kind of went internal and went on this little spiritual enlightenment journey. And so it feels like that, okay, yeah, that's great. And that was an awesome experience. And I feel like I'm really know myself now. And I feel like I'm more educated. I feel like I've really grown as a person, and I did it all by myself. But now it feels like it's time to start putting it in practice. And that can be a little daunting. And it feels almost like the universe is letting you know, okay, you can't hang out here. You got to start growing. You need to keep expanding. This isn't the end of the journey. It was a part of it, but you need to keep going, and you can't just sit back on, oh, that was really good. I learned a lot of stuff, and now I'm all done and complete now. That's not how it works. So it may be time as well, kind of like the song says, is okay. If I'm going to step out there, maybe I need some like-minded people around me. Maybe I need to find advice from someone who I find spiritually motivating. I mean, it could be listening to different authors. It could be watching different YouTubes or things like that. Yeah. Because the messages come in and you put in the work for it, but it's time to get out of that nest. That's what I get from this. It's time to get out of that nest and go on your next adventure. It's time to start using those skills that you've learned. And I know that the nest is comfortable. You put a lot of work into it, but it's time to move forward. So that's really interesting. All right, let's see if there's any final messages from the universe here. I hope that this has been helpful. I really do. It's been, like I said, the messages when they were coming in were a little bit difficult to explain. The cards help me, but, I can only tell you what I get. So, all right, the final message is, it's time to get out of hangman mode. It's time to stop stalling. It's time. You've gotten your perspective. You've gotten it. No amount of just waiting for the perfect moment is going to happen. And it's time to walk away from it. It's time to move on. It's time to just lay all that down and move forward. You don't need to keep going back to your safe space. No, this is you literally stopping hangman mode, which is doing the same thing over and over again, and then going in hangman mode so that you can decide, okay, I can keep doing this, or I can just move forward. That's what I always get from that. And then you got another moving forward card with the 8 of Cups. And no amount of thinking is going to be, is going to all of a sudden change that you need to move forward, or, you're just delaying. You just keep putting it off because you don't want to let this safe space go. That's what I get from that. So, yeah, I hope you guys know that Mama Lou loves you very much, and I will be back again for another message from the universe, and I love you guys. Bye.